So look at the numbers going up. Yay. Do you see her name up?
Hi, everybody. We're just getting started. We'll be up and running in just a moment. Just want to give people a chance to sign on. Isabel, do you want to share your screen so we have the little graphic?
Sure.
Oh, okay, great. Is she on? You have to. Oh, great.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Well, we'll go ahead and jump in. I know we'll probably still have some people signing on, but welcome to everyone who's joining us today here on Zoom, and also for anyone who's watching our live stream on YouTube. I'm Alice. I'm Director of Development at Antaeus Theater Company. Tonight, we're excited to be co-hosting this community salon with the Monterey Park Bruggemeyer Library. And since we have people from the Antaeus community tonight and the Monterey Park community, let me just take a moment to introduce Antaeus, and then I'll hand it over to our guests for a moment. Antaeus is a professional theater company based in Glendale. We were founded in 1991, so this year it's our 30th anniversary. We're known primarily as a classical theater company, but as you'll hear more about tonight, in recent years, we've also put a lot of energy behind beginning to produce new work in addition to the classics. And so, Cici, why don't I hand it over to you to introduce our special guest?
Hi, everybody. I'm from Monterey Park, and I lived here for over 40 years. And I'm so excited. We have a special guest here. We have our mayor of City of Monterey Park, and she is Yvonne Yu, and she's going to say a few words to welcome all of you here.
Thank you, Cici. And hello, this is Yvonne Yu, Mayor of Monterey Park. I'm so excited and honored to be invited to a meeting. And the Honorable David Lau and Cici Lau, they are a long-term supporter of the AAPI community and the City of Monterey Park. I met Cici about 2 weeks ago in a Chinese restaurant, knowing that she would be participating in a play featuring Monterey Park. I'm so excited to see Cici and her team for your contributions and dedications to advocate our city and the AAPI community, especially during the month of the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing your meeting and know a lot more about the play. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now I'm just going to say, introduce Deborah from the Monterey Park Library to introduce that wonderful organization.
Hi, everybody. My name is Deborah Niblick, and I'm the Senior Librarian of Adult Reference and Teen Services. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm more excited to basically say that it's been great partnering with Antaeus to bring not only this incredibly hilarious play, I'm warning you right now, you're going to laugh, but you're also going to enjoy the history that has been woven into this particular story in regards to Monterey Park. And again, I wanted to I want to thank Antaeus again for partnering with us and for all of you for attending. And I just want to let you know that the Monterey Park Bruggemeyer Library is open on a limited basis by appointment only. So if you need any assistance in regards to checking any materials out, or if you need to use our public computers, you can make an appointment Tuesday through Saturday, 1 to 5 p.m. And you can make those appointments on our website, which is montereypark.ca.gov/library. And I also wanted to let you know that on June 8th, our annual summer reading challenge begins for children's, teens, and adults. So everyone who reads for, I believe, a cumulative 20 hours will have a chance to win a prize. So I highly recommend that if you want to do something exciting with your families, or if you just want to join the community, definitely go to our website, learn more about our summer reading program, make an appointment, and come and say hi. We do accept walk-ins as well. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and visit our websites or give us a call at 626-307-1368, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Again, thank you, Mayor Yu, for joining us tonight. This is really exciting. It's an incredible play. You're going to enjoy it. Everyone's going to enjoy it. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah. So as you've heard, we're joining here tonight because last week Antaeus released an audio play that it's set in Monterey Park. The play, which we're going to listen to in just a moment, is part of a bigger project at Antaeus called the Zip Code Plays Los Angeles. It's a series of audio plays, each set in a different LA zip code. The Zip Code Play series is sponsored by the Michael J. Connell Foundation, and the play we'll be listening to this evening is sponsored by Sonja, Berggren, and Patrick Seaver. We started this project last summer because we wanted to create something that our audiences could enjoy safely from home during the pandemic. We decided to focus on Los Angeles neighborhoods because we wanted to highlight the rich cultural diversity of our city. And we also wanted to focus on community and connection during a time when many people have been sort of isolated. The Zip Code plays were written by members of the Antaeus Playwrights Lab, and they were directed and performed by incredibly talented artists from the Antaeus community. We released our first season of the Zip Code plays last November, and since then they've been streamed over 50,000 times. Our second season just dropped last week on May 20th, and that includes the play that we're going to talk about today. So in just a moment, we'll listen to 91754 Monterey Park, Bingo Bitches. The play's about 30 minutes long, and after it's done, we'll have a conversation with members of the cast and the creative team, along with Deborah, who'll be joining us from the library. And that'll be led by Antaeus Artistic Director, Bill Brochtrup. For guests who are joining us on Zoom, if you think of any questions that you'd like to ask, you can send those through the Q&A, and I'll be happy to read those for you. And if you're listening on, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can put questions in the chat there. And if you want to check out the rest of our Zip Code plays, which we certainly hope you do, we will send those links out as well so that you can listen to all 12 of our Zip Code plays. So I think we're just about ready to go. So once again, I just want to say thank you so much to our generous sponsors and all of our donors who have made this project possible. And thank you to all of you for joining us. And now please enjoy 91754 Monterey Park, Bingo Bitches.
Hello, and welcome to the Zip Code Plays, a collection of original audio plays brought to you by Antaeus Theater Company. I'm your host, Ramón de Ocampo. And here we are, the end of Season 2. Over the course of 6 plays, we've journeyed across a variety of landscapes and genres, from West Hollywood to Echo Park, Inglewood, Pacoima, North Hollywood, and now on to our final destination, Monterey Park. If you've missed any of the shows, go back and dive in. There is no special order. We think you'll love them all. As always, we want to pause for a moment to acknowledge that all of our pieces were written, performed, and take place on the traditional land of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples. We pay our respect to the ancestors, elders, and relations, past, present, and emerging. Our own permanent home is at the Kiki and David Gindler Performing Arts Center in Glendale, where we look forward to gathering with you all in person soon. Join us for a performance of a classic or a new play, a night of play readings, take a class, or attend a presentation by the young people in our Arts Ed program. Until then, it's been my pleasure to bring you the audio plays of Season 2, and we hope you've enjoyed them as much as we've enjoyed creating them. Look out for Season 3 of the Zip Code plays to be released in fall 2021. Today's show takes place in Monterey Park, a city in the far west San Gabriel Valley, whose motto is pride in the past, faith in the future, and which, according to Wikipedia, is part of a cluster of cities in the West San Gabriel Valley with a growing Asian American population, and is consistently ranked as one of the country's best places to live. And now, a raucous comedy about claiming one's space. It's Elizabeth Wong's 91754. Monterey Park. Bingo, bitches.
Bingo, 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 bingo.
Wong Tai, I'm here.
Wong Tai, I don't believe it. You came. Good. Sit. I promise you beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck. If you say a lie long enough and often enough, I will believe it.
Bah, that's wrong thinking, Wong Tai. Wrong thinking brings wrong results. Right thinking brings money.
And 40, naughty 40. And Caesar, and 14, and 40, and 40.
Ah, I have it. Yes. N40. I need a new marker.
Wow, what a big room. The payout must be good with so many people here. By the way, Kwan Tai, you forgot to tell me about the $10 buy-in. Oh, dear God, I had to give the cashier nickels, dimes, and pennies. So embarrassing.
Hey, shh. People concentrating lah. Last week, the lady who sits here won $250. Imagine that lah. 250 big ones.
Wow, Maya, that's a lot of money.
She went up to tip the lady who called the games that day. Left her purse on the table. Someone stole it.
No. Huh? Easy come, easy go.
Wong Tai, looking at you is hurting my neck. Sit. Stop. Up. You are blocking the winds of good fortune. Other side.
Oh, sorry, forgot. Last time I sat on your left side, I lost my voice for a week.
Now you are on my good side.
Wong Tai, how was lunch?
G54 clean the floor. G54, G54, and 54, G54.
G54, clean the floor. Do I have it? Yes, I have it. Oh, good seats, These are hard seats to get. Very popular seats.
I can see the big board on no problem. Wow, so professional. It's like Vegas. What did I miss?
Look at the board.
B28.
In a state, overweight.
032.
Buckle my shoe. Don't worry. You will learn bingo in no time. Ha! Read the one you missed.
B69.
Favorite of mine.
That's my favorite number. I saw once in porno movie on VHS. Found tape under my son's bed when he was a teenager. 69. Good number.
Wong Tai, you have a dirty mind. But that's why we are friends. Usually, I sit over in the corner near Chang. He's 98 years old. The old lecher. Always trying to pet my knee. Of course, I let him. What's the harm, eh?
Look, he's waving at you and smiling. He only has one tooth. Just your type.
You can have him. I like men with at least 2 teeth.
Kwan Tai, you've been single too long.
I'm not lonely. I have Mr. Hitachi. Booze.
You're so bad.
B3, cup of tea, B3.
B3, cup of tea, B3. Shit. My lucky number 2. No cup of tea for me.
Kwan Tai, why are you waving your hands like crazy traffic policemen?
I'm blessing the cards with positive thinking. Bingo, 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 bingo. Where are your cards?
Right here. I just have one.
Only one? Hi, Wong Tai, are you dumb? More cards, more chances to win, lah. Check your card. B3. And don't forget, in the middle, you have free space. Buy more cards, lah. More cards, more chances to win.
I'm not going to win, so one card is enough. I'm not lucky. You are lucky. C, no B3. Hey, what's this thing on the table?
Don't touch.
Ah! You slapped my hand too hard.
Don't touch, or you will steal my luck. This is my lucky potato.
Lucky potato, Kwan Tai. I think you need to see a doctor.
My grandson gave me this potato for good luck, and it works. Your money grows just like the potato. No water, no planting in ground, still grows. Positive potato thinking. This potato is a winner. Here, I have one for you too. Big lucky potato. Now you have a lucky potato. Feel lucky already, right? Say yes.
Ever since my husband passed away young, they say I'm unlucky. Ha, fool. Married at 18, widow at 23 with 22-inch waist, even after 2 kids. But no one wants to marry such an unlucky girl.
Well, okay, true. But that is very old-fashioned. Besides, your 2 little brats might have something to do with why you never remarried. The kind of man who comes to a pretty girl is the kind of man who will never want to raise another man's children.
077 Sunset Strip, 077 077 077.
No 077. I never win anything. Unlucky for whole life.
Don't feel bad, lah. This first game, no one bingo yet. Besides, for a loser, you look good. Everyone says you are the pretty one. Me, I'm the lucky one. See, 077 on 2 cards. Oh, when you see your number, you take this big fat marker and you mark it. Just like I'm doing. See? Easy, huh? This marker needs more ink.
Sometimes I look in the mirror, I see 86 years of unlucky. Lola. But inside, I still feel like a young girl. Still excited for new things like bingo. So, if I have it, I take the fat marker and mark it.
Hey, you need more ink too. Don't mark the free space. No need lah.
Oh, okay. I'm unlucky and I'm stupid. But at least I'm still pretty.
That's right. You know, I married a rich man who liked ugly girls. Because he said ugly girls will never leave. Ha! Proved him wrong. Took all his money too. I was lucky then, and I'm lucky now.
The lucky potato works. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I have it. Now I mark it. 077.
Too slow. When you have more cards, you have to find much faster. Or else you miss your chance.
Good game for brain, huh?
That's why I'm still smart, lah, not senile yet. So tell me, who are you?
Hey, lady, excuse me. You are in my seat.
Oh, so sorry. The cashier told me to sit anywhere.
Mrs. Boodakian. This is my friend, so she is sitting next to me.
Well, your friend is in my seat. And I'm tired of people saying my name wrong. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. It's been a bad morning. My cat threw up on my bed, so I woke up sleeping in the throw-up and with the hairballs. Oh. It's Boodakian. Boodakian.
Boodakian. That's what I said.
I have no patience today. So, lady, if you don't mind,
She does mind.
Oh, I'm happy to move. There's a seat over there by the trash can.
Wong Tai, no. You think she would get up for you? No way.
That's not true. If she were me, I would get up for her. I would. If only I wasn't so nearsighted. And my bunions. I have bunions.
Help me up. Kwan Tai's just bunions. I don't want to make a fuss.
Mrs. Boo, you are 10 minutes too late. You snooze, you lose. Rules are rules for a reason. If we break rules, we have crazy chaos.
You know my name, but I don't know you. Or you.
I am Mrs. Kwan, and this is my friend Mrs. Wong. Usually I sit over there next to Mr. Chang. And I've been coming to bingo as long as you have.
Well then, you know I sit here. This is my lucky seat.
So sorry. This is my first time coming here. Usually I babysit my great-granddaughters, twins. My friend Mrs. Kwan always says, come play the bingo. She says it's fun. People very friendly.
Look, young lady, I've been sitting in this seat every Thursday for more than 20 years. I'm 103 years old. I have earned the right.
Whoa, 103 years old. 恭喜你呀，好長命又富貴. It means long life and you're rich.
What are you doing? Don't touch me.
But you're 103, so I must touch you with both hands. I always do this when I meet someone so old. If I touch you, I will live as long as you.
Living this long is no picnic. All my friends are gone. Even my own children. Gone. No. No touching. Just get out of my lucky seat.
Mrs. Boo, this is your lucky day. You get to choose any open seat since you are late. You are lucky. Usually there are no seats for people who come late.
How rude. I'm 103 years old. I have a right to be late. I have gout, cataracts, kidney stones, and toe fungus. One of you people stole my purse last week, and now you steal my seat.
For your information, it was that new lady from Berggren. I saw her collect your purse since you were stupid enough to leave it.
Stupid.
B14.
Valentine's Day.
B14.
My favorite number. I was married on Valentine's Day to my first husband, Narik. Lemon Sav, Gunuts.
My husband died when he was 74.
Candy store.
43.
Down on your knee. 55.
Snakes alive. 38.
Christmas cake. B12.
Take your vitamin.
I don't understand at all, but you guys are funny.
I want my lucky chair. I have a toothache and a paper cut.
Oh, that looks infected. Ew. Yes, of course, I get up. Kwan Tai. I want to get up. She's 103. And she has a paper cut. It's infected. Ew.
Wong Tai, sit. Stay.
Hey, I'm not a dog.
Hi, Wong Tai. Do not fall for her medical misery. I know her tricks. Look at her. She is as healthy as an ox. Her color good, her eyes clear, her fingers will heal. Let her go sit next to the trash can.
Kwan Tai, what? What are you doing?
Pushing your chair under the table.
Hey, I'm not a shopping cart. What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you? You were here first. Defend yourself. My son would say, don't be a wimp.
You are the size of a bird. I will move you myself.
Hey, I'm still in this chair, lady. Stop holding my chair.
Oh, no, you don't.
My lucky chair. This is my chair. Vaireniana scum. Atora Suzumem.
Lady, stop. I'm getting the whiplash. Oh.
Wong Tai, hold on to your seat. I push you back.
I was here first. 95 years I was living in this city. Let go. Let go. Let go of the table.
Hold on, Wong Tai. Don't let go.
I was here when Laura Scudder invented potato chips in a bag. I made hundreds and hundreds of bags out of wax paper with a flat iron.
Chinese people invented the iron. We did.
So many times I burned my hands.
Don't blame us because you're so clumsy.
I was 5. I lived not far from her factory on Garvey in Atlantic. Ever since we left Armenia. That's how long I've lived here. Almost a whole century. Then you all moved in. Now I can't read any signs. It's all in your language. And now, you're stealing my luck right out from under me. This is my seat, my chair, my seat, my luck, mine. Let go of the table. Let go. You were lighter the first time.
Hold on tight, Wong Tai. I'm pushing you back to the table. Oh, she's right, Wong Tai. You were lighter the first time. Mrs. Boodakian, what do you eat? You are very strong.
What do I eat? I eat Chinese food.
Yeah.
Of course. It's the best. Hey,
I-27 gateway to heaven.
hiya, Wong Tai, I'm looking at your card. You have I-27. Pay attention. Look. Hey, let me mark it for you. Oh, I have I-27 on this card too. Oh, one more and I'll have double bingo.
I know I don't look it, Mrs. Booth, but I turned 86 yesterday.
Happy birthday. Now, get out of my chair. Ishugaluch.
Hey, speak English. 佢都唔講英文嘅。
You speak English.
I bought my house for $28,000 from a lady from your country. She moved to Glendale. She told me she was happy in this house. She bought it from a Jewish family who moved to San Marino. They told her they were happy in the house. There's a pretty blue little box made out of sea glass on my door. They left behind. My son wanted to take it down, but I like it, so I keep it.
That's a mezuzah. You touch it, then kiss your fingers, like touching a prayer. It's Jewish.
Are you Jewish? My daughter took a test for the genes. She said the results said a long, long time ago. We are Jewish, too.
I know what you are doing.
Not doing anything. What am I doing?
You are trying to make friends with me, to make me share my luck with you. And it won't work. I don't want to share. I don't want to be friends. This is my seat. I want my seat. You took my lucky seat.
And 4 knock at the door. And 6. And 7. And 4. And 4.
You know, Mrs. Wang has been a widow since she was 23 years old. Never remarried. Ah, so sad.
My husband died young too. Get out of my seat.
When she was in China, she survived starvation. Also so sad.
I was a homeless when I was a refugee. Get out of my seat.
She survived the war.
My family survived genocide.
Me too.
You did?
You did?
I was a baby, but they were killing babies, so a missionary saved me.
My family helped to raise funds for the memorial in Montebello.
What memorial?
The one on Garfield, near the golf course. When more of my people lived around here, we made a memorial, so we will never forget.
I pass by there all the time on the way to Whittier to buy tamales for my son. He loved tamales. There's no memorial for what happened in China. At least you have memorial.
You two have a lot in common. Lots to talk about. Let's be friends, eh?
I just want my lucky seat.
One time, some people don't want new friends. Some people just want to sit down in a lucky chair and forget their sadness.
Don't be sad. Be happy. Wong Tai, snacks? One almond cookie, white rabbit. Oh, in here somewhere. Take a look.
Oh, is that a dried plum?
Ah, you like wan mui? Whoa. Take one. Take two.
I'll just fun. I tried one of these last week. Oh, so sour. So good. All right. Fine. Take the chair. Borrow my luck. But I can't sit next to you. Your clothes make me dizzy just to look at you. Black stripes, purple dots do not go together. Your clothes offend me.
The seat next to Mr. Chang is open. He likes dried plums.
Fine, just for today. But next week, I won't be so generous. I'll take another dried plum.
Oh, sure. Hey, take more. I have plenty.
And one for Mr. Chang, too. Now, if you will excuse me, time for bingo! And Mrs. Wong, also you should lose the vest with those stupid unicorns on it. It's ridiculous.
And she's walking, and sitting next to Mr. Chang.
I like this vest.
Me too. The unicorn's very cute, very shiny. Where'd you get it?
Where else? From my daughter and granddaughter. They throw out a lot of their yoga clothes. I don't know why, because sometimes they still have tags on them. I like what you're wearing. Red frock, so cute.
She's right, though. All those stripes and polka dots make me dizzy, too. If you move around too much, I feel nauseous. Were you really in Nanjing during the war?
Oh, the past is past. No one remembers anyway. It's all forgotten.
The only thing I ever suffered, 2 hours in the car listening to the Barry Manilow. My ex tortured me with his love of the Barry Manilow.
Barry Manilow. When you put it that way, it turns out my life is actually pretty lucky.
That's what I've been telling you. Wong Tai, I have to make a confession. I sat here on purpose.
On purpose? You make that lady go crazy on purpose?
Oh, she wins a lot of money every week, so her chair is hot. I wanted you to have a chance. Your butt will absorb all the good luck.
You're a good friend, thank you.
That old salted egg has been hugging the good luck for years. Time she shared.
You are such a bitch.
I know.
B8 Garden Gate.
Oh,
B8
B8 Garden Gate. You have bingo. B8.
Oh,
Lucky number 8 lah. See, you have it. Lucky.
I have bingo. Oh, Buddha, I have bingo. I have bingo. Actually, I have bingo.
You have bingo. You have to yell bingo or you win nothing.
Oh, right. I have bingo. Over here. Bingo, bingo, bingo.
Hey, my lucky chair.
We have a winner.
See? What did I tell you? Huh? Right? Huh?
Good seat.
Next game is in 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
That was 91754, Monterey Park. Bingo, bitches. Written by Elizabeth Wong, directed by Jennifer Chang. Starring Karen Huie as Wong Tai, Jade Hykush as Mrs. Boodakian, and Cici Lau as Wong Tai. We owe a massive debt of gratitude to our stellar audio producer, Jeff Gardner, who is also our sound designer and Foley artist. Our beautiful original music is created by Ellen Mandel. Thank you, Ellen. Diego Tapia is our fantastic sound editor. The Zip Code Play series is generously sponsored in part by the Michael J. Connell Foundation. Antaeus Theater Company is an actor-driven ensemble that explores timely and timeless work, grounded in our passion for the classics. We illuminate diverse human experiences through performance, training, and community engagement. Our artistic directors are Bill Brochtrup and Kitty Swink. Anna Rose O'Halloran is our executive director. Our director of operations is Nicole Samsel. We couldn't have done any of this without her. Additional production support by Jade Mujayas. A big thank you to all of our writers, directors, and fabulous actors. You are the lifeblood of the theater. And a huge thank you to all of our supporters and donors. Your generosity has helped keep Antaeus thriving. We're so glad to have you as part of our artistic community. For more information about the Zip Code Plays or to support Antaeus, please visit our website at zipcodeplays.info. While there, check out the original illustrated maps of each of our zip codes created by artist Cynthia Jacquette. You can also visit highlights of each neighborhood in person or virtually by taking the Zip Code Plays tour. If you enjoyed the show, leave us a rating or review. It really helps new listeners find us. If you're looking for more great theater in LA, be sure to check out our colleagues at the nation's premier Asian American theater, East West Players, now celebrating their 56th year with their virtual season, Between Worlds. I'm Ramón de Ocampo. On behalf of all of us at Antaeus, thank you for listening.
All right, that was the play. And so now I will introduce our panelists. We have Bill Brochtrup, who is the artistic director at Antaeus. The writer of the play is Elizabeth Wong. We have our director, Jennifer Chang. The cast is Cici Lau, Jade Hykush, and Karen Huie. And then we have joining us from the Monterey Park Library, Senior Librarian Deborah Niblick. So thank you, everybody, and I'll hand it over to you, Bill.
Thank you so much, Alice. Wow, what I love hearing that play again. It is, I just adore it, you know. And congratulations to the great cast, and they did a wonderful job. I want to start off by just asking a very quick kind of fun question, but you know, since this is about bingo, I'll say, you know, I have been a caller at Drag Queen Bingo in West Hollywood. I was a guest at that, which is great fun. Have any of you ever played bingo, or what was your last bingo experience? Elizabeth, have you been to bingo?
Just before the pandemic, I wanted to support a restaurant that's local to Monterey Park. And they had bingo video. So you could play while eating in an very old diner. So it was a lot of fun.
I love it. Jennifer,
so I have played it.
Jennifer, have you partaken of the bingo?
Well, yes. And the last time I played was at Hamburger Mary's for, which is always a fun, thrilling bingo experience for anyone who hasn't.
Yes, that is where I was did a charity thing there as well. Cici, have you played bingo? Oh, you're on mute. Unmute yourself. Oh, unmute.
I play bingo in my church. We have a senior club. So, well, you know, because I haven't played bingo for the last year and a half because of the pandemic. So every month, what we do, the seniors will sign up, and then we pay $5 for lunch. And then we bring gifts over there for a drawing, you know, whoever wants to bring whatever they have. And then we, whoever wins the game, then we go to the table and pick whatever you want. Then we have another thing is you buy raffle tickets. I don't remember exactly, maybe like $10 for 3. Oh, we can hear the bingo set. Yeah. So then the final prize was you have a 50-50 drawing. So then you get the cash, and the rest donated to the church. So
fantastic. It sounds competitive. Is it a competitive group there?
Yeah.
Excellent. Jade, have you played bingo?
Oh, yes, I played years ago, and I've been wanting to go to Hamburger Mary's with my friends, but we'll do it after the pandemic. But yes, I went to church bingo, and I had 2 cards, and these people around me, boy, are they like heavy hitters. They're just so into this bingo. They had like 10, 15 cards. So they called like B14, and I'd be like, B14, and I'm going to, and they've already like finished marking their 10, 15 cards. And one time, this woman sitting next to me, a stranger, starts marking my cards after she's done with her 15. So I think that was the last time I went, because I thought these ladies are professionals. I can't keep up with them.
Something to work towards. Karen, have you played?
I only played bingo as a child, and I remember that as being one of the first games that we had that we would play amongst me and my siblings and then, always put away with the Parcheesi and the Candyland and the Operation Doctor, whatever, and Monopoly. So, and chess.
Well, there's still time for a revival. There's time. Deborah, what about you? Have you partaken?
Oh yeah, I love bingo. I seriously do. And I actually have a really good friend. She and I, when things open back up, we're going to be hitting the bingo circuit. The last time I went bingo, it was for a charity event for the Pasadena Humane Society. And it was drag bingo, just like at Hamburger Mary's. And I had my Wong Tai moment. I flipped out when I won bingo. I actually...
Oh, you won.
I did win. I won a gift pack, and I got like 5 tickets to the Ice House. I got a gift card. I can't remember. Like, I got an actual whole like 6-pack of beer. Like, I made out like a bandit. I was so excited.
Well done.
Right. And I actually remember when I was a kid. So I'm actually half Japanese. So my father's family, we would go to the Obon Festival every year at the Gardner Temple. And after we did our dancing and all that kind of stuff, I remember walking past towards the parking lot, and it was nothing but bingo tables. And the thing that stuck out the most for me was the massive prizes. There was like microwaves, rice cookers, there's even a TV. So mind you, like 30 years ago, you want to win that TV. So how they got that stuff, or they had generous donors or whatever the case was, it was great. And you could just see all the ladies, just like Jade said, with their 10, 15 cards, double fisted with their markers. They were going to win that microwave. It was awesome. But yes, I can't. That's why I'm looking forward to retirement, because I will be at every bingo championship.
Well, you will be our inspiration. Thank you. Elizabeth, can you tell us where did this idea come from? What inspired you to write this play?
Okay, so this play actually began in a line at a grand opening for a store here in Monterey Park. I was lining up to be one of the first 100 to get some swag. And the lady behind me was talking about why she was in Monterey Park, that she was often in Monterey Park, not only for the food, but also for bingo night. And she described to me that it was very, very cutthroat, and that the payout was really high, and that there was once someone who made $250, but somehow when she went to go tip the bingo caller, she stupidly left her purse on the table. So her winnings were gone. But I was just shocked that it was $250. So she and I both were waiting for swag, and that's where I got the idea.
Well, thank you. I love this play so much because I think it is extremely funny, obviously, as we heard, but I also think it's about something very important. And I think the idea about taking space, owning space, who owns space is a really, really interesting question. And was that something that you were thinking about while you wrote this?
Actually, Bill, it was something that you helped me see, because I didn't realize that I was writing about taking space, but I thank you for making me smarter than I really am. To tell you the truth, it was even more basic than it was about that our elders were being assaulted and attacked, and I wanted to try to humanize them. I was very angry. So this play, in a weird way, was born out of my desire to protect the seniors, the elders in my community, and by protecting them, by humanizing them, so that people could see that these are people that we that have full and rich lives, but also that they came across the ocean. They had dreams of the gold mountain. They, built the railroads. They built the canals, and they sacrificed a lot to be here, and so and they went through war like my mother did, surviving the invasion of China, and so I think that I just wanted to give some props and respect to the elders in my community, and in hopes to protect them.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's a very funny play, obviously, but there's serious things going on here. Jennifer, maybe you could talk a little bit about, we rehearsed and recorded this play right after the shootings in Atlanta. And, that is, it's so upsetting. And it was a concern that the cast wanted to continue at this time. Can you talk about that?
Sure. I mean, for those of you out listening to us, Bill was so kind to call and reach out and ask, because we were scheduled to do our recording session the next day after the shootings, if we were feeling up to it, or if we wanted to delay or reschedule. And I reached out to Karen, Cici, Jade, Elizabeth, and I think it was pretty unanimous that, we're not going to let those, bastards get us down. Just like in what is it, The Handmaid's Tale? Isn't that what she writes on the wall over there? And that, especially if, speaking to and uplifting Elizabeth's message in her play, we were providing in service, our talent in service of that message. And what better way to, respond to the moment, but do our art, So I think what was beautiful is everyone's like, we're doing this. No way they're gonna get us to stop or prevent us from doing our art.
Yeah, thank you. Would any of the actors like to address that? Karen, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I ditto what Jennifer said, and we all have such complex responses given our different perspectives, whether we're actors or writers or mothers or people in the community or whatever. Everybody has, this is true of everyone, everybody has multiple functions in their lives. And so we receive a lot of the information and we process through those different lenses. So it's easy to get overwhelmed. And for all of us here, it's not our first brush with racism. We were raised living with racism. I've experienced a lot of it, as we all have, in growing up, and we find our own ways of coping with it. And then we find our allies, whoever they happen to be. And my feeling is, along with my community, being angry as an Asian American, being angry, being furious, and also being afraid for a lot of my community members, family members, whatever. But I remember my mother getting really freaked out. We tried to protect her and tell her not to watch the news because she lives in New York. And one day she happened to see that assault on 43rd Street. She saw it on the news. She was totally freaked out. My sister said, I just talked to Mom. You might want to call her, because I'm the daughter who is able to make her laugh, and to bring her out of spiraling down. And so I said, Mom, this is not the first time we've been here. The Chinese have been assaulted before. And she said, when? And I said, when they first came over. They were assaulted, they were burned, they were shot at, whatever. After 9/11, the Muslims were the target. LGBTQ community has been targeted. Japanese Americans during the Second World War, the Vietnamese after the Vietnam War, during the Vietnam War, so many communities, the migrants and African Americans every day. So as I pull the lens back from trying to make my mother feel better, it knitted me with humanity, because it made me feel like, yes, it sucks that it's happening to us now. I don't like being afraid to go out. It is happening to us now. We are the face of hatred right now, or, we're the object of hatred right now. But as I think about it happening to other people, and my friends, as I'm sure all of your friends are, very diverse. So when my LGBTQ friends are attacked, I support them. And so it has made me feel more connected with other people. And I find that oftentimes through your anger about something, if you will go into it and let yourself be angry, you come out the other side being more humanized and connected with your fellow person. Sorry, I didn't mean for all of that to come out, but that's my response.
It's important, and it's the reason we're doing all of the zip code plays is to speak to communities and to speak about community, and that we're all here together. We all exist here in Los Angeles and in the country and the planet. We all exist here together. I think this is one of the things that's so interesting about Monterey Park in particular. And Deborah, maybe you'll help us kind of understand the history of Monterey Park and how it kind of came to be. Was it always a separate city? Was it part of Los Angeles?
So Monterey Park actually has a really great history. Like, let me just pull up my notes real quick. Like most of the towns here in the San Gabriel Valley, is that obviously California was purchased, well, it was part of Mexico at one time. So we have this history of Spanish settlers basically coming into the area and turning these parts of the area into small settlements. So particularly in 1810, the area known as Monterey Park now was actually settled by two Spanish settlers named Senor Lugo and Alessandro Repetto. So those names are very familiar to you. Mr. Repetto actually ended up selling his rancho to Harris Newmark and the L.W. Hullman Company. Again, streets that are very familiar to a man named Richard Garvey, who was a former Army mail writer who rode the route from Los Angeles to Port Mojave right after the Civil War. And he ended up naming this large piece of land called Ramona Acres after a famed romance novel about Ramona Shorb, who is the daughter of Jackson DeBar Shorb, who founded the city of Alhambra. But fast forward a little bit later, in 1916, 800 of the current residents ended up securing papers of incorporation to actually create the city of Monterey Park, to basically prevent the area from becoming a giant landfill that the city of Alhambra wanted to basically use Monterey Park for. And after they became incorporated, the population growth was very slow, but then the baby boom came, and then when all of the veterans came back from the war, all of these tract homes kept popping up. And then later on, more in the 50s and the 60s, you're going to see large waves of immigrants, or even like Latino Americans and Asian Americans coming from the crowded downtown area to settle in Monterey Park as to achieve the American dream and to live in a suburban life. So that's kind of a little bit about how Monterey Park became Monterey Park. And then as the different ethnicities came to Monterey Park, again, we're not alone in this, but there was a lot of prejudice, and there was a lot of racism against minorities that were coming to Monterey Park to settle this area. But a lot of progress was made at the same time, particularly in the 80s, where you started to see a large influx of Chinese immigrants. And then we had a lot of, especially Chinese Americans, getting involved, fighting some of these old policies that made it difficult for minorities to thrive in Monterey Park. But you know what? Here we are now, and we're doing pretty dang good. So that's kind of Monterey Park in a nutshell.
Love it. Thank you. That was very well done. Well, kids, that's the library for you.
Yes, we know how to research. We just don't Google.
Oh, Elizabeth, are you raising your hand there?
I am. I'm raising my hand because I just want to jump in here because, and I'll do like a fact check. But I thought that the city of Monterey Park also formed when a lot of other surrounding cities wanted to put a sewage treatment plant here. So they wanted to put a sewage treatment plant, and we said, not going to happen. So they became a city.
Yes, they interchange landfill and sewage. I don't know 100%, but yes, that's exact. They wanted to turn this whole area into a giant moat. And people were like, not in my town. So that's when they came together and they rallied to create the art to create this city. So it's very interesting.
Well, we are again so honored to have Mayor Yvonne Yu with us here. And Cici, I want to ask you because you've been in the city a long time, and I understand you have a connection to a mayor also. Can you tell us about that?
Actually, my husband, he started, when he was working, he always loved to volunteer. So he became board members of different nonprofit organizations. So then because of his volunteerism, then people suggested, oh, David, why don't you run? And I guess our Congresswoman, Judy Chu, maybe some of you heard about her or seen her on TV. She's working closely with President Biden. And she was the one that suggested for David to run for school board member. At that time, she became the mayor of City of Monterey Park. So then he started to run for school board, and then he ran, actually he served for 3 terms and was the president of school board. Then he ran for the City of Monterey Park City Council, and then 3 terms as mayor of our city. And I'm very proud of him. When he was running, I had to be his, volunteer to be his campaign manager, or drafted me, and then did all the recruiting volunteers, and then help with the walking peas, and then do phone banking, and just everything. And but I wanted to point out that what he contributed to the city was, back in the days when he was serving on the council, because most of the residents, they wanted to have our city to be, like a bedroom community, and they like it like that. But then my husband had the vision, okay, other cities surrounding us, they're developing, and then we're gonna be behind. So he wanted to, okay, we need to increase the tax revenue. So he proposed to have a mixed unit projects. So then it took a while. It took years to get it approved. And in 2000, I believe, was like 2010, where the exit of Atlantic and Hellman, that's when we built the first mixed use project. The first 2 stories, they were commercial, and then upper stories were condos. And that brought in tax revenues. And then there was, on 60 freeway between Montebello and Monterey Park, there was an awful the trash dump. It was awful. It took years to get it all cleaned out. And around that area, now we have the beautiful Monterey Park Marketplace. So that took years to do that. So now we have Costco, Home Depot, all these national brand stores. And that's I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is 45 plus acres. So part of the land is still building. So you can, so we've got malls with the North Atlantic, Times Square, we have 14 screen AMC theater, plus all the retail stores, restaurants, And then this marketplace, it's just,
Oh, it's awesome. It's spoken like the true first lady of Monterey Park, as you are. Thank you. Now, when you're talking about cities that are next door, in Montebello is the Armenian Genocide Memorial. Jade, you are Armenian extraction, and is there something you'd like to say about that for us?
Yes, I was born in Montebello, and I was born in the same hospital as Deborah, our librarian. And my grandparents were survivors of the genocide. And my family, along with many Russian Armenians in Montebello, they're called the Rusahais, which means Russian Armenians. They left Russia. They were refugees, went through Poland, Czechoslovakia. They were displaced persons in Germany. And that whole group from Germany came here and settled first in East LA. And from East LA, that whole group moved to Montebello. So there was like my grandparents, their generation, my parents, their generation. And I gotta say, these people were amazing. They didn't speak the language. They all did pretty well for themselves. They built the church, Holy Cross Cathedral, which is on Montebello Boulevard and Lincoln. They built the Armenian School, which is in Pico Rivera, a city down from Montebello. And they built the memorial. And I was there on opening day as a little girl. And it was really exciting. My grandparents were there and my family. So yeah, so they built it. So people would never forget the genocide.
Thank you. This whole area is so full, as is Los Angeles, full of stories. Of course, that's why we've wanted to do the Zip Code Plays, because there are so many areas of this city that have such fascinating history, things we don't know, things some of us know a little bit about, and we want to illuminate. I want to talk for a moment about to Jennifer, as you are an extremely talented director and actor as well, by the way. But can you talk about the difference of directing an audio play where people did not come together, not in the same room? Microphones delivered to people's homes. So I don't think everyone's actually been in the same room at the same time. So how was that? Oh, mute, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have the good fortune of having three incredible actors, who were very much able to imagine that their co-stars were in the same room. Like you could definitely feel them play play with each other, even though we were in a Zoom room. And we
Can you
also
sort of explain how it occurred? How did you?
Oh yeah, how this whole, so rehearsals would happen in Zoom, just like how we are here in this webinar without all of you audience members. But just like we would have these Zoom tiles of the folks speaking here, we would work on the script, we would talk to Elizabeth, and in terms of the SAG agreement that allows us to do this project, the number of hours is very limited. And so it's really about, let's read it, we'll provide some notes, we'll read it again, there's some time devoted to tech, there's some time devoted to recording it, and then we're done, and and really I have to hand it to the actors in terms of just having already, understood who the characters were. I had the opportunity to kind of meet them offline before our official rehearsals, and Jade and I spoke on the phone. Cici and I had spoken on the phone, and Karen and I chatted briefly. But I have also, and it's true, as an actor, worked with Karen and Cici on the Joy Luck Club at East West Players. And so it's always nice to be in a room where you are familiar with folks and can jump right into collaboration. And what was so great about the way that Jeff Gardner, our sound designer, had set up the recording session is different from Zoom, where you can't overlap and it's hard, to really find the rhythm of how we want to respond to one another. There's this program called Clearfeed where it's sort of like Zoom, but just for audio. And everyone could hear one another and you could overlap. I'm sorry, there's like bath time happening in the background if you hear children laughing. And so everyone could hear one another separately and record separately. And so we could respond much more organically and overlap. And Jeff could then take the recordings and, do whatever magic he's doing. And we could all have a clean recording, even though we were doing overlap and hearing one another overlap. So it really did mimic being in the same space, even if it was just audio. And in terms of directing, we're all blind in the recording session. We don't see each other and we're really only hearing each other's voices. And there is a little extra something. I'm sure Karen has actually so much experience and can speak to, what it means to be a voiceover actor. But there's, all of your physicality, all of your acting, all of your technical prowess really pays off. And it's necessary for you to do all of that because it's actually it's not just, sitting here and reading text. All of that physicality gets layered into the vocalization.
The section where they're fighting over a chair is very vivid, but I can picture in my mind exactly what's happening the whole time.
Yes. And so we did do some coordination of being, on mic and off mic. And I asked Cici, could you wiggle your body around? So everyone is super game. And I'm going to pass it to Karen, who can really speak more to the technical, aspect as an actor.
Yeah, Karen, you have a great amount of acting on voice. So was this different from other experiences you've had?
Yes and no. I mean, it's similar during the pandemic because we're recording from home. I've had my booth for 15 years. I've done about 3,000 shows over my career as a voice actor, separate from my on-camera stuff. But Jeff was fantastic in that he created these kits that were delivered by Taylor or whoever, who just brought it was a laptop, a microphone, a mic stand with the baffling. And then she helped us put everything together. I have my own booth, but Jeff wanted a uniformity of sound, not just for this play, but for all the zip code plays. And kudos to him. That's the reason why it sounds so wonderful. It sounds like it's of a piece. And I think a lot of times during the pandemic mostly during the pandemic, when people are recording on their own equipment and then they cut everything together, it just sounds like they're from different places. There's a show that I just saw that some friends of mine did that's on Netflix. It just launched last night. I won't mention, but there's a very famous actor who is on there playing a robot. And I thought, why does he sound like he's in an echo chamber? Maybe it's because he's a robot, but the robot sound is supposed to be coming out of his mouth. He's not talking within the robot, but his robot partner didn't sound like that. So there was not that uniformity of sound. And because I do so much VO, I was distracted by it. But everybody had all these kits, and it's the same way. In fact, on that same day, right after we finished, or during our recording, I was expecting a delivery from Warner Brothers because I was doing a show for them. We recorded on a Friday.
Antaeus and Warner Brothers, I like it.
Yes, yes. And I was recording on Monday, so they had to drop the rig off on Friday. And Taylor when she picked up our rig from Jeff's rig, she said, "Can I see your Warner Brothers rig?" And I said, "Of course." And she saw it, and theirs is in a big, if you know what a Pelican case is, a big plastic case that's very heavy, very heavy mic stand, and you literally have to lift up that Pelican case, and there's a hole in it that you have to mount on to the mic stand. And then once you open it, everything's in there. So the iPad is in there, the mic is in there, all the, everything. You just have to plug it in, press go. And then you're connected with the studio, either through Clean Feed or IPDTL. But it's the same idea that everything is inclusive.
See, we're
so
working
that you
on
can
it.
have that.
Antaeus, very close, very close.
Very
Studio
close.
ready.
Yeah, and there are other studios who are also, Igloo has one, Aura has one during the pandemic, because now during the pandemic, so many people are working remotely that even when the pandemic is over, some companies are not going to want to go back into studio. So this will be part of the VO.
Maybe part of our world for a long time. And, I think Antaeus is very excited to do another season of Zip Code Plays because we've enjoyed it so much. Elizabeth, I want to ask you another writing question, which is, I love the fun of this whole thing. It's delicious. And can you tell me a little bit about those bingo rhymes? Because I love those bingo rhymes.
Okay, so the bingo rhymes actually are classic. They've come from the 1950s. Most of them started, okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. Bingo actually started as a lottery, like lotto, in Italy. And then it migrated to France, and it became the game that we sort of know today, but in French. And then it went to England. And then a lot of people played it like during the war. And so that's kind of how it kind of got imported here. And in the 1920s, some toy maker was attending a carnival in Georgia. And then so he brought it back to his friends in New York. And in New York, his friends just loved it so much. But when they called it Beano, but somebody got it wrong. They called it Beano because they used the little like beans to mark the cards. So Beano. But one of his friends, apparently a lady friend, said bingo. And so the mythology is born. So that I don't think anybody really knows how bingo really started, but that's basically what I learned about bingo if you were to Google it.
I love these origin stories. And I have another origin story question I want to know the answer to. And maybe, Deborah, you know the answer to this. I don't know. But there is something, I guess, that Monterey Park is famous for and involves potato chips.
Yes. So the greatest thing about Monterey Park is that we have an incredible history of women leaders and entrepreneurs. And Laura Scudder, if those of you are familiar, Laura Scudder actually started her business, as Mrs. Boodakian said, on Garvey and Atlantic. So that land actually consisted of the family home. There was a large brick building that's the factory where they actually made the potato chips, and across the street was her husband's gas station. So basically they were a one-stop shop for anyone traveling along Garvey at the time. And so the history behind the potato chip factory is that although it started out as a joint venture, it actually became her only source of income because her husband, unfortunately, was injured. He had a car fall on him when he was working at the gas station. And so she was basically the breadwinner. And at that time, here comes that thing called the Dust Bowl. The 30s hit. So the Great Depression hit, the Dust Bowl hit. And there was just a lot of anguish and a lot of things that were happening at the time. But what's great about Laura Scudder is that in order to keep her business going, she actually hired housewives because they were considered the most unemployable, because what kind of skill do they have? So they couldn't go to the factories. They couldn't do this. They couldn't do that. They're housewives. They can't do anything. And she's like, that's not true. So she hired them. And it was with these women, she invented the wax paper package, which is you take some wax paper, you fold the corners, you iron it out, you put the little chips in, and it keeps the chips from becoming stale. So they invented that packaging process, and here we are today. And she was able to open plants all over California, from Oakland to Monterey Park. And she not only just did potato chips, she did everything from like mayonnaise. She even does dips. So if you ever get a chance to go to the market, not all markets carry it, but I can tell you for a fact that Vaughn's actually still carries the Laura Scudder dip packets and the potato chips. She did end up selling the business later on as she got older in life. And her name is still out there, and was just a pioneering force and really kind of put Monterey Park on the map, along with we're also really well known because we've had the first Chinese American mayor, Lily Chan, and the first Chinese American woman was elected to U.S. Congress, known as Judy Chu. So that's our claim to fame.
It's Monterey Park. It's doing great. Elizabeth, you had your hand up. Is more chip stuff? Because I'm,
yeah, more chip stuff.
Chip.
So
yeah.
I'll say it really quickly. So about the housewives, she used to employ the unemployable, and then she would give them wax paper, and so the housewives would iron with old school irons the edges, all but the top. So then they would bring the wax paper bags that they created to the factory, and then they would fill it with chips, and then they would seal it there. But it was very much she ran that thing, and she employed women when they were not being hired, and they, on their spare time, they probably their kids too use irons to.
And here's another thing. Another fun fact about Laura Scudder, how like nothing could stop her, nobody could tell her no, because when she first started her factory, she had to get insurance for all her fleet trucks, right? And I actually learned, because just a quick plug here, we have an incredible local history room at the library. So if you ever have any questions about the city, make an appointment with us, myself or my staff, and we can help get you into our archives to uncover some great history. There was an article done on her, I want to say back in the 80s, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head, where it basically said she tried to get insurance for her fleet trucks, and she was told to her face, we're not going to insure you because women cannot pay. There's no way women can pay the premiums. She was literally told, we won't insure you because you are a woman. And she's like, excuse me? So what she did is she did her due diligence, and she went and found women insurance agents, told them what they needed to, and said, this is what's happening to me. And they backed her up, and they insured her vehicles. So she had hundreds of vehicles because she didn't quit. I thought that was incredible. It's just a kind of there's a great nuance to who she really was. She literally was everything to not only just a mother, a businesswoman, but she also had a career. I think she had a law background at some point. I think maybe I'm wrong. It's in my notes. I think
we have another potential zip code play right here.
Right.
I love it. Yes, Cici.
Because of that, when we were trying to buy a house, me and my husband, we lived in Miami for a while. And then that was the first house we tried to buy. And then they said, we could not use your income to apply for a loan because women can get pregnant. When they got pregnant, those months they could not work. And that was in the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah. And then also I want to say today, it just happens to be Monterey Park's 105-year-old birthday, May 29th. Yeah. So, because in Monterey Park, we celebrate Monterey Park's birthday every year. Not around Memorial Day, but like in the like May 16, 17, we have 4 days to celebrate. And we love to celebrate in Monterey Park. We have Lunar New Year, we have fireworks on July 4th, and Cinco de Mayo. So we have, April Cherry Blossom Festival. We just party here all the time.
Well, I'm very happy to be a part of it. This is a great day for us then, and very auspicious for us to be doing this event. Alice, are there any questions in the chat or anything that we need to go over?
Yeah, I think a lot of what's, the couple of questions that have been posted, I think have sort of been answered by what you have already talked about, but there is one, which is, Jade, I know you touched on this a bit, but was there a significant Armenian population in Monterey Park before it shifted to being a primarily Asian area?
Very few people. Very few people. And then they either stayed or just moved to Montebello. And then in the 80s, there was a huge influx of Armenians coming over, and they settled in Glendale. So,
and Antaeus, our Antaeus Theater Company, our permanent home is at the Kiki and David Gindler Performing Arts Center, right in downtown Glendale. So we love that area too, and I hope everybody will come join us when we are reopened for in-person and live events. We would love it to see everybody. Also, for those listening, all of the Zip Code plays are available on our website. They're free. There's now 12 of them because we have 2 seasons. And this season 2, we are covering West Hollywood, Echo Park, Inglewood, Pacoima, North Hollywood, and you've heard our finale, which is Monterey Park, because we had to wind it up with these ladies. And Alice is putting in the chat, I think, a link to our website, but you can also find them on Spotify or Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. They're all free, and please listen and let your friends know about them. This has been so much fun. I love this piece again so much. Elizabeth, you've created a great thing. Do you have anything else you want to say about what's inspired you about Monterey Park? Or maybe if you want, you could tell me your favorite restaurant here too, or a restaurant recommendation, because the food here is great.
Okay, Elizabeth and I, when we had that Spectrum interview, so after that, we went to Tangong, Tangong. It's on Atlantic and Garvey. They have dim sum Cantonese food, but they're on the 3rd story. I think the elevator doesn't work, or maybe it's working. Because I think it does.
You got to work off a few calories heading up there for the dim sum, I guess.
But you take the escalator up, so you can go in there to inside the restaurant. The restaurant is huge, but then when you step out, they have long hallways. They set up about Elizabeth, maybe about 15 tables, so people could just sit outside.
Tangong is a classic, fancy dim sum palace.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling like you're jonesing for a little dim sum, then Hong Kong style, then actually that's not Hong Kong style, because you actually order from a menu. Hong Kong style is when you want the loud carts and the ladies or the guys who like push the carts and try to hawk the food. That's probably NBC still does that. In other words, it really depends on what kind of style of food you want, because the best part about Monterey Park is the eating.
Yeah.
So we have
right now I'm going for anything.
Okay, if you're really hot, the Fucanese, the Chengdu, some people swear by it. I think it's so scorching, I cannot touch that food. But if you like hot, Chengdu is the place to go. If you like juicy dumplings and you want to see some of us old school guys there, we're like at Mama Lou's, because there's 3 locations. So Mama Lou's is the place. There's also Dumpling House. Oh my God, there's so many other places. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you want Muslim Chinese food, you can have it in Monterey Park. Mm-hmm. If you want other kinds of food, there's Vietnamese food, which I know some people go to Orange County for that. But hey, Monterey Park has some awesome Vietnamese restaurants. Banh Mi Chi Cali is the one that's a really go-to one for me, but there are many others. There's not only there's Mongolian style food. What else, guys? There's Malaysian food,
Burmese food. We have international
Shanghai street food.
We have Japanese food. We have really good Japanese food.
Sushi, with the sushi go round, where the sushi goes on the conveyor belt. Love it. Mm. So in other words,
all the noodle houses. My gosh, noodles out your ears.
Many noodle houses. In other words, You'll have to
slaying me.
just hit us up for a specific recommendations depending on what you do, which is another way of saying that Chinese people are not monolithic. We have a different culture. Each Chinese dialect has a different culture attached to it, different kind of cooking attached to it. So, you know.
Well, that's something we talked about in the writing of the play and working on this show, is that I'm afraid that many people don't understand that and think that, you know, China is a monolith. And so it's been important. I think it was important in the writing and important in the work we did to say that that's not true. And there are different, all kinds of different people in China. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Thank you. I can, and I'm certainly others can too. It was really important to me to put different languages, different dialects of Chinese. So it's not just, so when someone says, oh, you speak Chinese, like, well, which Chinese are you talking about? Are you talking about Mandarin? Are you talking about Cantonese? Are you talking about the Singaporean dialect? Are you talking about Taiwanese? Are you talking about my own language from my heritage, which is Toisan, which is old school? We're OG. We're the ones that came. My language came with the people who came to build the railroads and populated a lot of the West Coast. So,
but in all fairness, the Chinese do it too. When the Chinese say, "Do you speak Chinese?" they mean, "Do you speak my dialect?"
Right.
They don't say, "Do you speak Mandarin? Do you speak Cantonese or Toisan or whatever?" They're like, "Do you speak Chinese?" And they assume it's their dialect. And I think in China, there's over like 456 dialects. So many dialects, and each region, because China is so big, each region, I mean, just speaking of Chinese opera, let alone food, as Elizabeth mentioned, even Chinese opera, each region, each dialect has their own Chinese opera. So Chinese opera is not one thing.
But I do want to point it out, no matter what dialects you're speaking, if say Karen and Elizabeth, we're talking, you know, I can't understand your dialect, but the writing is the same. So if you can't understand each other's dialect, just write it and you understand each other. It's that beautiful Chinese characters. Everybody can look at it and then, you know, they can read it.
I also want to, before we move on from that food thing, I want to point out there's some awesome Armenian food in Glendale. And Jade, is there awesome Armenian food available in Montebello?
Yeah.
I don't live there anymore. My mom does. There was Golden Skewer, but that I think might have changed hands. So I don't know. I just really love Carousel. Carousel in Glendale and in Hollywood. For me, I think that's the best one.
I can agree with that as well. It is a cultural feast here in Montebello on our happy birthday. That is really amazing.
I want to say that at the end of 2019, my brother was coming out for some design conference, and I asked him to bring my mom. And I said, you know, Mom, I want to show you Monterey Park, the San Gabriel Valley. We have, you know, about 12 or 15 cities that are almost, certainly all Asian or mostly Asian. She said, I know, like Chinatown. She's in New York. I know, like Chinatown. And I said, no. And then I said, cities there. And she said, I know, like Flushing in New York and Queens. And I said, no, I'm just going to have to show you. So when she came out here, I took her to a different dim sum place every day. I think she was here for eight or 10 days, different dim sum place every day, different Chinese restaurant at night. And I drove her so that she could physically see. And for her being an immigrant, I mean, she came over in 1950, but for her, driving and seeing Chinese signs that she could read, even though my mother speaks fluent English, but she was, at the end of it, she said, I'm so proud of the Chinese. Look what they made. I took her to Shilai Temple, which is this huge Buddhist temple. She was just amazed. And anybody going to Monterey Park instead of Chinatown for dinner or lunch will marvel at how big it is. And yes, how many different types of Chinese or Asian food there is there.
She doesn't want to move here, Karen.
It's too. I would love for her to move here. In fact, Elizabeth said she can go to the same senior center that my mom goes to and play bingo.
Oh my gosh.
I remember you
love
were
it.
asking me about finding a restaurant.
I wanted the complete list
Yeah.
so I could take my mom, but she she swelled with pride at what was.
Well, you guys,
you know.
hey, we are so grateful to all of you. I want to thank Deborah, and you want to give us a little pitch on the library one more time before we go? Because please take advantage.
Sure. So the Monterey Park Bruggemeyer Library is open by appointment only, and you can make an appointment very easily by visiting our website, which is montereypark.ca.gov/library. It's 2 little buttons that say make an appointment or for a service appointment, or you can use a computer. And our new hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we are still offering services like contactless checkout. If you happen to be homebound 3, like Miss Boodakian, or even older, and it's free, and everybody who participates has a chance to win a free book. So definitely check us out and make an appointment and come see us. Hopefully, as things get better here in California, we'll start to open up a little bit more, because we miss people. We miss people a lot, because that's what we do. And to all of the wonderful cast here, hopefully I get to meet you in person one day. That would be absolutely lovely.
Come over to Monterey Park and we'll have a huge dinner.
Oh, now you're talking. Now you're talking. Yes. Well, I want to thank our amazing cast, who, by the way, are much younger than the 103. And by the way, Jade, you're marvelous in the show. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing Mrs. Boodakian to life. Cici Lau, Karen Huie, thank you so much for your beautiful performances. And what an honor to have the mayor and the first lady here with us. What luck for us at Antaeus. It's been a real pleasure. Jennifer Chang, he's such a great director. You know, I could go on. I love your work so much, and we really appreciate you doing this. So thank you. And Elizabeth Wong, you know, I love this play. It has been a joy working with you. I hope everybody listens to it, passes it on to more people, because I want everybody to hear this celebration of Monterey Park and the strong women who play bingo there. So thank you very, very much. Again, all of the plays are available wherever you download your podcast. They're free. Listen to them whenever, wherever, and however often you would like. And Alice, I will turn this back to you.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you, all of you. And thank you for everyone for being with us. And I will say one last thank you to our sponsors, to the Michael J. Connell Foundation, who sponsored this whole Zip Code Plays project. If you haven't listened to them yet, the links are in the chat, and I hope that you will. So thank you, everybody, but have a great night.
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.